Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Truth Talk podcast. I'm back here with MI.
What's up, guys?
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Lottie, Juice WRLD's girlfriend. Let's get right into it. Ever since Juice WRLD passed back in 2019, many of his fans have questioned what really happened on that plane that night. The story that was reported to the public just doesn't seem to add up and leaves the question, did something far more sinister happen to Juice WRLD? Like I previously said, I don't think the story we're being told regarding what happened that night is the truth. It just never made much sense to me. This story would end up being discredited by those on board and even the police report itself. They originally claimed that Juice WRLD, alongside his girlfriend Lottie and 7 other friends, were on board the private plane traveling from LA to Chicago. According to the police report, the flight had no issues during the actual flight. Juice WRLD was actually asleep the majority of the time. The plane would eventually land at Atlantic Aviation Terminal around 2 a.m., where the authorities were waiting for the plane. The authorities will begin to search through the luggage on board when Juice suddenly collapsed and started having a seizure. Juice WRLD would be rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately wouldn't make it to the hospital. What doesn't really make sense is that according to the police report, nobody on board saw Juice take anything while they were on board the plane. Sometime after his passing, his girlfriend Lottie made some accusations that to me might explain what really happened that night. A couple months back, Ali made the claims that there's way more to the story.
Heartbroken over what's going on, and I've been quiet for the past year and a half, and took myself away from everyone because I knew what was going to happen. If people knew what happened the day before Jared passed and the day that Jared passed and everything like that, which I cannot speak upon at this moment, but I will. I just have to make sure that I am safe. So please, 1, don't show anyone this, but 2, know that you guys have my full support, because I cannot let Jared's legacy be what it is. Jared would never treat any of his fans like this, 1, and 2, literally sit on his lap every day and be like, don't go record. They don't need us. They don't need you anymore. We made so many songs that we're a liability being here. They didn't think I was going to make it through this year. There's been plenty of times literally they've tried and tried their hardest to make sure I wasn't going to be here, and I pushed and kept going because of this reason only. And we'll make sure that shit changes. I just have to make sure that I am safe first.
As you heard for yourself, Ali makes it sound like the story being told on what happened to Juice WRLD isn't the full story. She makes some very serious accusations that appears to be towards Juice WRLD's record label, Grade A Entertainment. Ali seems to accuse the label of having something to do with what happened to Juice that night. She states that Juice had already recorded so many songs that the label no longer needed him. A very interesting point, considering that after Juice passed, the label has gone on to drop several albums. Ali also states that Juice being around started to become a liability. She goes on to make even more serious accusations when she states that she feels that the label has been after her, causing her to hide out. This to me said a lot and could suggest something else might have really happened that night that is being covered up. Recently, Ali revealed even more information when she said Juice did not pass because of substance issues, insinuating that he was indeed set up.
Y'all mad because literally I'm like, oh, blah, 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 you guys think he died from a overdose. You're wrong. Literally, you're wrong. Okay? Y'all don't know.
This to me proves that there's definitely way more to the story, and she is just being cryptic about it. We also must remember that Ali has a Masonic square and compass tattooed on her stomach, which shows she is associated with the Masonic order. For all we know, Ali could be playing both sides or have a separate agenda in why she's saying what she is saying. To me, the entire Juice WRLD situation just never added up from the beginning. Even if we listen to Juice WRLD lyrics, it seemed like he knew that this was going to happen. Like, one of his famous lines that he wasn't going to make it past 21. He knew that this moment was coming, and I don't know if it was problems within the label that he was having and he knew that the label were going to do something to him, or it was just his pact with the devil.
I think it was his pact, man, because for you to be so accurate about your own life and timing didn't Triple X say he was gonna pass at 21, or he wasn't gonna make it past 21 because they weren't gonna allow him? they know something we don't know, you feel me? Like, his girlfriend said that he knew that something was gonna happen to him.
Yeah, and if we talk about the girlfriend, a lot of people don't trust the girlfriend because they say that she was a scammer, untrustworthy, and that she has her own agenda, and also that she hasn't been very loyal to Juice WRLD after Juice WRLD passed. You know, a lot of people just seem to be mad at her, not only because of what she's saying, but also the fact that she seems to have moved on, found a new boyfriend, gifted him some of the jewelry that Juice WRLD gave her. And I think that's what's sparking some of the hate for her. But we shouldn't let that overshadow what she's making known. I believe what she's saying. I just don't believe her intentions, you know? She might have a dark reason for saying these things. It might be to cover something else up. But in my opinion, something definitely doesn't add up that night. If we go to what the story is being told to us, they want us to believe that Juice WRLD, when he saw the police coming onto the plane, he got so scared that he shoved a bunch of substances in his mouth. And that's how it ended it all. A person that is a superstar who has an entire team on a plane with him, who, you know, he probably just say, hey, you know, take this charge. And he definitely should have someone on board who would take those charges. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'll say that, but you know, then again, who knows what was really going through that dude's head, you know, at that time. Like, I got all these substances on this plane. Let me try to get rid of some of the evidence. I definitely think somebody would have took that charge for him, though, for sure. For me, it's like hard to speak on that part, but I do believe that they took him out because look at all the money they making off of him. Albums, Juice WRLD, they not stopping. They milking him.
When I think about the whole plane situation, most of it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you try to get rid of these little, you know, these pills if you know that you have pounds underneath the plane?
That's what you're right. No, that's what I'm saying though. Like, why do that in the first place? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not like what's 2 or 3 little or 4 or 5, whatever he took, even if it was a bottle full. I would be more concerned about what's underneath the plane, especially since it was pounds and weapons and other stuff that shouldn't have been on the plane. I myself don't understand how this is a logical explanation. Now, when we start looking at what time he passed away, we already know in the occult world, 3 a.m. is a very, you know, important time. And Juice WRLD passed right around 3 o'clock in the morning. And we also know that his girlfriend has a Masonic square and compass right on her stomach. You know, tattoos, like I've said, you usually get them as a representation of you. And as well, like, I personally don't know nobody who has a Freemasonic square and compass tattooed on them. Usually most people don't even know what that symbol is. They never really see that symbol. They don't come across it. And when they do see it, if they don't know nothing about it, it goes right over their head. To see her go and tattoo this symbol and not only just be a regular, if it was a regular person and you could say, oh yeah, I just thought it was a nice symbol. But for you to be in the industry, it's just too coincidental for it not to be more to it.
Yeah.
You're messing around with Juice WRLD, who in one of his lives long ago, playing around, said he was selling his soul and doing a ritual. He was with G Herbo. I'm not sure if you ever saw that video. Him and G Herbo were at like it looked like a beach, but they had candles set up in a circle. It looked like they were doing a ritual. And he just said that to the camera like nothing. And then if you go through his lyrics, he has times where he mentions selling his soul to the devil. And he mentions his battle with the devil. And also, like, when he talks about, oh, what's a 27 club? He ain't making it past 21. This is something that he already knew. Why did he know? It could just be the deal that he made. And if it wasn't the deal, it could just be the pressure of he knew that these people were going to come for him because, you know, maybe Juice wasn't going to re-sign to Little Bibby, Grade A Entertainment.
Nah, he definitely wasn't. Definitely not.
And Little Bibby, we have to think about Little Bibby. Little Bibby is a street kid from Chicago. If you look at it, he didn't get here with his musical talent. You know, his career ended long ago, his musical career. He started signing artists. And the reason why he is still relevant and making money today is because of Juice WRLD. You know, his music isn't selling. He is not a profitable artist. And he doesn't have many profitable artists on his label. He signed the Kid Laroi and then used Juice WRLD to bring up the Kid Laroi's career, making himself money off the Kid Laroi. But the moment the Kid Laroi saw that there was a way for him to get out, he ran away from Little Bibby. And then some altercations happened to the Kid Laroi. You can tell that Little Bibby, he's the dude that'll play by force. He's the one that has no problem making a call. He comes from this environment in Chicago where all there is destruction, you know?
Listen, if you look at the whole thing, right? You look back at Juice WRLD before the come up. He wasn't no street dude. He wasn't rolling around with no dude that was strapped up and selling pounds. He wasn't around that, you know. Those had to be Bibby's people on that plane with him. You know what I'm saying? They're probably extorting him or something.
100%. I wouldn't even say extorting him. I'll say that they were just using him, you know? Like, think about it. Juice WRLD probably loved that, trying to be a rapper, you know? Being a rapper, now you can say, oh yeah, you know, I'm connected. I got all this and I actually be doing this. And like we saw with 6ix9ine. But it always tends to have a tragic end. In the case with Juice WRLD, the biggest thing that concerns me is not even the people on the plane can agree that this is what happened, especially his own girlfriend at the time. It doesn't matter if she has a new boyfriend. It doesn't matter if she gave Juice WRLD's watch away. None of that matters. What matters is that there's definitely something sinister that happened on that plane. Why were the cops even there? They said that the pilot, for some reason, called the cops on Juice WRLD because he knew that there was pounds on the plane and weapons. How did he know? All these things were in the luggage. He went through their luggage. He opened their luggage up and checked through their luggage. There would be no way. He said that he had a hunch. He thought that they were stuff on the plane. And that's why they called the police and the police were waiting. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, come on. We know that was a tip. That was a tip.
Exactly. Unless he goes and have opened up all the luggages, which he wouldn't have done on this private plane that's being rented by this millionaire. It just doesn't make any sense. None of it made sense, but the public are going to buy this. This is where media controls everything, you know? They put the narrative out and people are just going to accept it.
Yeah, they would have said Juice WRLD jumped out the plane. People would have believed it. They would have been like, oh my God, he jumped. Poor Juice WRLD. He must have been going through something so crazy. It's whatever they want to tell you. You're going to believe it unless you woke.
All you got to do is really analyze the situation. If I'm a multi-millionaire artist, I'm going to have a bunch of fall people around me, especially if I'm dealing with all this stuff. The label itself, if the label wouldn't have wanted something to happen to Juice, why would they put him on a plane with all this? You understand? None of that makes sense as well. Like, the whole situation just doesn't add up. And it can either be two things: poor management, but it still doesn't explain why Juice WRLD went out that way. Why would I put my star artist on a plane with all of this on there?
Why wouldn't he just flush it?
That too, like, he could have gone and done that. Even then, it just doesn't add up. That entire narrative, it doesn't add up whatsoever. But what does add up is that when we go through Juice WRLD's music, he speaks about his pact with the devil. He definitely was associated with the Masons. You know, it could be Little Bibby, it could be Grade A Entertainment, but he was definitely associated. And his girlfriend, I don't know when she got that tattoo, if it was after being with him or before, but it still doesn't matter because they know what that means, especially Juice WRLD and Ali Lottie, because they're a part of that world. They deal with these people. They're associated. Who knows when we'll ever get the full truth?
She says she's waiting for the right time to give out the full truth because they after her. That's what she's saying, you know, that they coming after her, that she's scared for her life. So she's waiting for the right time to reveal the full story.
Yeah, but she's been saying that for a few months, and I don't know, maybe at this point, I would agree that she does know it, but I don't think she's ever going to say it because I think in a way that would incriminate her as well. Like, you knew this truth all this time and you kept it to yourself and you didn't say nothing. Like, that's a crime in itself.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it gotta be something extra. It has to. There's no way he's gonna friggin' take a whole bunch of stuff and just go out like that. And he, you know, he is a veteran at it too, you know. He does this, so he would know.
It doesn't add up. And then there wouldn't be someone that was there that's important, because she is important. She was his girlfriend, who was literally saying the opposite of what the police are saying, the opposite of what everyone is saying. And we have to wait and see where she's going to take this. Because again, like I'm saying, it could all be for clout. A lot of people, what they're saying is that we shouldn't take her word for it, but there is no reason to deny her yet. If she really does go and tell us everything and it doesn't make sense, or she just seems like she's clout chasing, then of course, write her off. But right now, she might be the only opportunity for us to really know what happened on that night, and for us to show this to other people so they can see what the music industry really does. You know, it makes you sell out to these people that use you like puppets. They had them flying on a plane with a bunch of illegal things that can land them in prison for long. So they just didn't show that they cared. And you know what's crazy? All the charges were dropped. No one got charged with anything. None of those substances that were on the plane, nobody got charged for those. That's another thing that I found extremely suspicious.
Of course, you know, they put the blame on him because he was the only one that didn't make it.
Look at it from this perspective. You're Little Bibby, who owns Grade A Entertainment, and you only have one profitable artist at the time, one artist that's paying for everything, paying for your lifestyle, paying for your record label, paying for your expenses. Everything that you got going on is this one artist. Your contract with this one artist is coming to an end. You know that the major record labels are trying to cut you out and go directly to him. What are you going to do? The best option for you is to get rid rid of the problem. Getting rid of the problem was getting rid of Juice. He got rid of Juice. Now he has control of the remaining catalog that he already has signed them. It's easier for him to re-sign to his parents because who do the parents trust the most? The parents are going to trust the people he was already working with.
So let me ask you something. He owns all his masters and all that?
Of course. That's what the record label that Juice signed was before Juice had really anything going for himself. So he signed this record deal and it's always going to be in the favor of the record label. So he probably got a terrible percentage. It was most likely a 360 deal. And when it ended, he was due for renegotiation. A record label of Little Bibby size isn't able to offer a superstar like Juice WRLD what he really needs, for him to be satisfied, because now he's making millions of dollars. He needs a $5 million, $10 million, $20 million advance. A label like Little Bibby does not have the capital to do that. They just wouldn't be able to come up with that as an advance for a superstar artist. So what do? You make sure you get rid of him while he's still on your roster. And now you have control of everything prior that he's recorded, which is tons of songs. You get the parents to sign him on for you to continue his legacy and, drop more projects. And that's it. Problem solved. If you offer the parents $1 million, it's like, to Juice WRLD, that's probably a smack in the face because it's just disrespectful. I'm making you 10, 20, 30 million dollars. I should at least get 5 or 10, right? As an advance. But if you offer $1 million or $2 million to the mom and dad who are now responsible for what happens with his music, they'll sign that in a heartbeat and take that money. You know what I'm saying? And give all the rights to the record labels because they have no idea how the music industry works.
When you put it like that, it's crazy, man. But it's true.
The life insurance as well.
Yeah, the life insurance. The 2 albums that they just dropped and the 3rd one that's coming, the Juice WRLD Day, they still making a lot of money off of this guy.
Yeah, and then if you think about it, Little Bibby has no other artist. What other artist does he have that's really doing good? The one that he did have ran off on him.
Called Kid Laroi ran off?
Yeah, the Kid Laroi ran off. According to what a lot of people saying, Little Bibby's people got at him for it and, things got a little physical between Little Bibby's people and the Kid Laroi. That's the way that Little Bibby does business.
Yeah, he's trying to strong arm people.
So if Little Bibby does business like that, imagine that conversation with Juice WRLD. When Juice WRLD saying, you know what, I don't want to sign. I don't think I'm considering signing to a major. I appreciate everything you did for me. Little Bibby might at the time just try to let me convince him. When he saw that the convincing wasn't working, he made a plan. I think it was a plan that succeeded because it seems like he got away with it. They probably had to pay off a few people, but I think they succeeded. And the only loose end is Lottie. I wouldn't be surprised if something unfortunately ends up happening to her because of this, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully she's able to expose the truth,
She's really scared of exposing the truth though, because why hasn't she exposed it, She's really scared that somebody's supposedly going to come after her and get her, She keeps saying they're gonna get me, so.
Like I said, I hope nothing happens to her. I hope nothing happens to anybody, and I wish she does reveal what truly happened that night so that we can see Little Bibby for what he really is, and people could be aware of what dealing with Little Bibby as an artist could do to them, Well, that's it for this episode, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
I just wanted to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truth store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make helps with the funding of Truth Records. The link to the Truth store is also in the description. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts on this video and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.